Welcome to another episode of Houston's Hustle Hobbies. This is a show where I like to talk about all the ways that I make and save money because at the end of the day, hustling is my hobby. So, it's been a while since I did one of these update videos, and I realized I did one for Houston's home automation, but I didn't do one for Zenith. So if you don't know, to catch you up, Zenith Transport is an LLC that I put together that basically transports people in parcels with electric vehicles. I have a 2020 Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, and I have a 2022 Kia Niro EV. Company motto, travel by wire. It's what I thought of. So to give you a quick overview on the parameters of what I did, I'll just give you 3 key rules. But for real, if you want to get parameters on how to operate a business, I highly suggest reading and rereading the book, The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Strategy number 1, I only take and make deliveries in a 10 to 15 mile radius. And this is because of one thing and one thing primarily, risk mitigation. You want to hedge against risk as much as possible. Now, I've already done my best to hedge myself against risk by buying 2 brand new cars, so I didn't have to worry about breakdowns or car maintenance cutting into my profits. But you can't account for tires, traffic, or the unknown. So to mitigate that risk as much as possible, I stay within a 10-mile radius of my house just to make sure that I can get to help if I need it quickly and safely. Rule number 2, ratio. If you drive a standard Lyft car, there's something that you know, and that's dollars per mile. Basically, how many dollars are you getting paid per mile? Now, the dollars per mile ratio is typically very low. If you're driving a Lyft car, you're getting paid roughly $1 a mile. If you drive Lyft XL, if you're in a nicely dense packed area that's busy, you'll get more like $2 to $3 a mile. And if you have a cargo van, you get even more than that. But focusing on dollars to mile, I try to only accept orders that give me a $2 to $3 per mile ratio. Now, this is actually very difficult because it requires a whole lot of strategy and multi-apping that I'll get into in other videos. It actually takes experience. You have to be doing this for about a year to really get the minutia of it. For instance, a typical order for me is like 15 miles for $60, which is a 1 to 3 or 4 ratio. If you have a car, staying close to $2 a mile is the best thing for you, trust me. And the third and final rule I talk about is time spent. With pretty much any gig app out there, if you put in 8 to 10 good hours, you're going to get $200 to $300 if you're really humping it. An 8 to 10 hour day, 40-hour week is likely to make you over $1,500 to $1,700 a week. But for me, this isn't good enough because I have another business that I run alongside with this business in tandem, which is Houston's Home Automation. So what I tend to do is operate in 2 to 3 hour time batches. And that amount of time, I usually make about $100 to $150. I usually do those twice a day, and that's pretty much how I make, $250 to $300 a day. In the morning and the evening is where you have most of your volume between gig apps. So now it's time to run some numbers. As I said, I strive to make between $1,000 to $1,500 a week with my Zenith Transport / gig apps business. If my math is correct, this usually gets me about $65,000 to $70,000 a year. And like I said, aspirationally, I want to get to the $70,000 a year, working 20 to 25 hours a week tops with this business. I usually hit that pretty consistently, but there are good and bad days. There might be a $120 day next to that $270 day, or something even worse, or something even better. So that's what you're looking to make, and you're looking to use up about 60 to 65,000 miles a year on your car. So keep that in consideration. Let me squeeze in startup costs real quick. The best way I would suggest that you do it. Now, you don't want to do it like me. I went out and got leased financed 2 cars. I owe like 80 grand in car debt. You don't want none of that stuff. Well, you do. Like I said, if you don't want to worry about the maintenance of your cars during this whole thing, 5-year, 10-year project. But again, you want to outsource as many non-money making things that you have to do as possible. So that's why I got the new cars. Justification over. Now, if I were to start over, the way that I would do this is I would get a Toyota Sienna Hybrid. That's the minivan that they put the Prius powertrain in, and it gets about 36 miles per gallon on city and highway. If you live in the city, just do Lyft XL only, and you'll get plenty of clients and tips that put you way over $100,000. Trust me. Anyway, getting back on the startup cost, sorry for getting off track. Toyota Sienna is going to cost about 40 grand is what you're going to end up paying, which will break down to about a $700 to $800 a month car payment. Also keeping in mind Section 179 tax deduction, which makes any vehicle over 6,000 pounds tax deductible. So you can take a deduction, I think it's $7,500 deduction on your taxes if you got yourself a minivan or something over 6,000 pounds. Now, to get your LLC, a lot of people tell you to go on the government website where you can get it for like a couple of $100. I'd like, name escapes me. LegalZoom.com. I got both my LLCs from LegalZoom.com. They gave me a nice packet. Yes, it was very expensive. I paid $650 for my LLC package, but I had everything in it, articles, meeting papers, all that stuff. I did a video already on the little small tools that you would need. I would invest into a collapsible dolly, some gloves, a back brace, a hoodie or a jacket to keep in your van, and even a couple of tie downs and bungees just in case. You also want to get car seats for your captain's chairs in the back of your van too. All that put together, you're looking at about $45,000 of startup cost. Or honestly, this is a budget channel. You can take yourself to an auction. I have videos about that. Take yourself to an auction with about $5,000. You'll find a decent working minivan. Just make sure it's of a current year to do this with as well. If you go that route, you're looking at about a $10,000 startup cost, but please set aside money for maintenance because you will need it. One of those scenarios. If you stay a consistent 20 to 30 hours a week, you'll more than make that money back. Now, on a personal note, the downsides of starting this business are really just what I experienced are just, some weird deliveries, some late days, some sketchy areas, things like that. But for the most part, I have to say, I've probably been doing this off and on for about 5 years. And, I genuinely enjoy doing it. As for my personal numbers, like I said, I have my other business, so I think I made about $60,000 with tips last year doing this. And I was working about 20 to 25 hours a week, something like that. And, I know that doesn't sound like a lot of money, but, then again, you have to remember and on this channel, I teach that we keep our operating costs low. We keep our overall costs to do life low. And we do that by using our debt snowballs, investing, keeping little nuggets of knowledge in your head like this. Anytime you spend money, anytime a dollar leaves your pocket, the intent of that dollar should last you more than a day. So let me explain. You're not going to be spending money on fast food, McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts. You want to be spending money on, like, say, Great Value Chex Mix. This has lasted me about 4 or 5 days, and it stopped me from going to any fast food restaurant to get food. Also get these reusable Kool-Aid packets. I like Celsius. It's a little energy Kool-Aid tonic. Different stuff like that saves you from having to go to like the Wawas and buying those 5-hour energies that we all buy when we're out here on this road. I think it's little strategies like that is what makes driving this or doing this job or, working for such a, meager salary by some standards makes it workable and actually, profitable. I have zero regrets. I really do enjoy what I do. And it's my plan actually is literally written in my business plan to do this in 5-year increments. So I'm locked into this thing, baby, and I'm enjoying every second of it. Would I suggest you do it? If you are good at managing yourself, yes. But if you're not, if you need somebody to tell you what to do, when to do, then you don't want to do this kind of job. That's about as much as I can give you in terms of intel of, what it takes to do this job. So I'll leave it there with you guys. As always, feel free to comment down below. I'll be happy to answer any questions. And be sure to like and subscribe so I can keep doing this. I really enjoy doing this. And as always, live high, live mighty, live righteously. Take it easy.